on short-term investment. We are giving a recommendation based on what everything analyzed in your ratios. So then after that, remember that's three requirements. One, then move to requirement two. Remember everything we are still doing. We are still doing what everything we are saying now is in the body of the report. So you move to the requirement two. So requirement two can be the next page or can be the next two page. In requirement two, you have to start with what? See appendix 2. Remember in requirement 1, which is our financial statement analysis, we said see appendix 1. So in your financial data analysis 2, you have to say see appendix 2. So your appendix 2 can be maybe where maybe it can be where you solve your investment appraisal. In that aspect, to investment appraisal, we already know that okay, what are the main purpose of investment appraisal? The main purpose of investment appraisal is to what? Is to give a decision whether to invest on the project or not. So let's say the question you have been given in investment appraisal, like the last diet. So after you can use maybe your MPV or maybe your IRR to determine. So let's say now the company ended up having a positive MVP. You can tell them that the company should invest in this product. So in this project, because the project we result to a positive MVP. So remember, when it comes to financial data analysis, the best approach to financial data analysis is to tell them that okay, this particular project shows a positive MVP, they should invest. Then give them a non-financial data or a non-financial information or facts why they should also invest in that particular project. How do you get the non-financial data? Okay, you can tell them that this particular project that the company wants to invest is in a particular community that because this project has a positive MVP, it will also influence or it will also result in an increase in sales. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say in essence is that in investment appraiser, you've given them you've given them the basis that okay, they should invest in a project due to the fact that you have a positive MVP. But also to your positive MVP, you should be able to use it. You should be able to back your positive MVP. You should be able to back it up with your with a non-financial data. When I say non-financial data are things that become measures, but they will surely trigger the investment appraiser. Let's assume now, maybe in our financial data, what we are expected to do is business evaluation. And you know that okay, if this particular company, if you acquire this particular company, there are things that will come with that acquisition. Maybe synergy. We are trying to tell them that okay, if you acquire this company, there's going to be a synergy. A synergy can be maybe because you acquire this company, your sales can increase. Because you acquire this company, you can reduce your costs. Remember, all these things are not financial data; they are not figures. But because if they acquire this stuff, these are the things that the company will enjoy. You can tell them that okay, look at the way Diamond Bank and Access Bank. When Access Bank acquired Diamond Bank, apart from the fact that okay, the acquisition was okay, it also increased the capital base and the customer base of Access Bank. Remember, Diamond Bank has the number of highest customers then, but because that Diamond Bank, Access Bank has actually acquired Diamond Bank, it brings them it increased their customer base.
Exactly.
So that's another non-financial data that can actually help to back up your presentation or your report on your financial data analysis.
All right, sir.
Then on that too, I think my time is almost up. And the next thing you have to do is to give a recommendation and conclusion on your financial data. Then you move to your business strategy. In your business strategy, what are you going to do? You are just going to explain your SWOT analysis. Remember your SWOT analysis, you've identified those key points on strength, on weakness. Then you now explain in details those points that you've identified. Then you give summary of the stuff. So remember, under your business strategy and operational tools, your tools matters. You need to state your ethical issues too. What are the ethical issues that you stated? Then you need to state your CSR. Then after everything, you need to give an overview, recommendation, and conclusion. So that overview and conclusion means that you've considered all the 3 requirements, then you give the recommendation and conclusion on that. Then you've gotten your body of report now. Then you have to now summarize all your body of reports in order to have your executive summary. So we are saying that your executive summary is a summary about all your body of reports, all the 3 requirements that you've highlighted or you've explained. You need to give a summary of that in your executive summary. so that
All
it
right,
will
sir.
be very easy for the examiners to know what your body of reports entails before even trying to analyze it or look at it. So I think I'm going
All
to
right.
stop here for now. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to give back. And I'm very sorry. I think I actually used more than my time. I was so engrossed with discussion. And by the time the precinct comes, so maybe like Michael said, we can actually look for a bigger project in order to analyze the precinct. So I'm leaving this podium for my next presenter, which is Okewu, is my boss, and I know he's going to share more light on this. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Amoluwadare. We are also so delighted to have you on board. Thank you so much for sharing those information we need to get as regards for exam. Those information were very, very important. You highlighted some areas that I was able to gather when I went through the examiner's report for the last 10 diets. So for the last 10 ICANN diet, I was able to evaluate those data. And so there were some things you highlighted, and the examiner listed those things. For instance, some of the areas the examiner highlighted that students are not really doing much in is with regard inadequate understanding of the relevant ratios to use. Ratios is wide. You must know the relevant ratios to use. You can't just apply the old ratios because you have a limited time. So I observed that in most of the diets, the examiner is always making reference to that. That most times students don't take they don't take their time to compute the appropriate ratios. Also, the examiner made findings. Made What I also saw was that the examiner said that students lack the understanding of the principle of report writing. Many people don't know how to write report writing. Many people don't know the difference between internal report and external report. Also, the examiner also said that they lack the understanding of the requirements of the case study. You can't answer case study if you don't understand what you've been asked to do. So if they asked to use A to solve B, and you don't know you don't understand what the examiner said. By answering the questions, you're off. So our time is really fast spent. Thanks so much for sharing those wonderful contents, sharing those wonderful secrets, sharing those wonderful information to us. So we'll be room for questions. At this juncture, I'll bringing in our next speaker, which have few secrets. He does not really speak too much, but he has few secrets I would like to share with us. Before I bring him in, I would love to cite his I would love to share his profile with us. So Mr. Okeowo. All right, just in a second. All right, there we go. Yeah, so Okeowo is a goal-driven individual, academic and business enthusiast, a qualified chartered accountant and an academic prophet. He qualified as chartered accountant with the prestigious Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, in 2019. He holds a diploma in international financial reporting, diploma in ACCA. Okeowo is a resource person to the Institute. He has helped in various capacities in supporting the next generation of accountants through his easy approach teaching. He serves as a professional instructor and part of a young folks playing in the space of financial reporting and corporate reporting. He is the owner of Accounting Media, a YouTube channel that helps in contributing to the accounting ecosystem. Okeowo has served on the accounting team of various organizers, and some of which are Gokada Bright Limited, where he served as finance lead and also as the lead accountant in Brainedge Global. Okeowo has the following academic awards, and these are his honors and award. He is the first overall best student in November 2019 diet. He's the best qualifying chartered accountant in November 2019 diet. He's the best in financial reporting May 2019. KPMG prize winner. KPMG best ND students in accountancy, Yaba College of Technology. He happened to be the best in public sector in ATS2, then 2018, and also he became second overall best in ATS2 in 2018. He also became the overall best in ATS1. So make welcome Okeowo, Ayobami ACA, as he shared with us those secrets you need to know in scaling through our exam. So Okeowo, the floor is yours, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me on board. Can you hear me? I need someone to confirm, please.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you for having me on board once again. And I'm very happy for the opportunity given to me to share this with you at this moment. Okay, like based on what has been discussed so far by the first speaker, I think we've learned everything needed for us to scale through our case study exam, which is very key. And one thing I do tell people is case study in itself is not something that is hard. Case study just everything goes around writing reports. Unlike your normal SFM, unlike your normal corporate reporting, unlike your normal maybe FR and other subjects whereby your computation really matters or the ability to know a concept really matters. What really matters in case study is ability to write reports. So you can see that you know ratio analysis very well. You are very good. You can compute 1,000 ratios. And at the end of the day, you compute the ratio. If you don't know how to analyze, how to put it in a report, how do you communicate that ratio? At the end of the day, you will see that someone that knows ratio very well still failed the exam. And at the end of the day, the person can't even make do with the ratio he has. And like Mr. Michael said, he said, one of the things that I can complain a lot about is people go to exam or with the mindset that, oh, every case study, there must be a ratio question. And most of the time I tell people, no. The reason being, the reason being, a question is talking about profitability of a company. The key thing is profitability of a company, and someone comes and the person is calculating investors ratio. Now the question is, what is the relevance between investors ratio and the profitability ratio? So the first thing you must know in case study is, if I'm calculating ratio 1, what is the impact of this ratio on the case I want to analyze? So you can see someone that will analyze 10 ratio, and you will see another person that will analyze 20 ratio. And at the end of the day, the person that analyzed 10 ratio still pass. Why the one that analyzed 20 ratio still fail? The question is, how well can you use the ratio you compute? Though I will be sharing a particular case. I'll be sharing a particular case with us, which will definitely help us pass our case study. I'm not here to discuss about the nitty-gritty of how to pass case study. I'm just giving us the basic tips, which I think we need to add to what the first speaker have said so that it can help us to pass this case study. So, like I said, first thing you must always do is you don't waste your time. Case study is 4 hours, 15 minutes. But I can tell you from experience that 4 hours, 15 minutes is a very short time for you to start case study. You will realize when you enter the examination or you are faced with something of 20-something pages, sometimes 30-something pages that you want to analyze. What you will realize is that you have spent the first 1 hour of your time. You've spent it on reading the question. The next 1 hour of your time, you've spent it on doing ratio. And the question is, why do we spend 1 hour on ratio most time? Because every student already have these feelings that once I get to the exam, I've crammed 20 ratios, I want to do the ratio. Now, the question is, if I'm reading the question and I want to do the financial statement analysis, what really concerned me are what are relevant for this? And I will show you a particular case study. Though we all know that ICANN won't give us case study, they will just give us the marking tips for case study. But I can tell you that, this is Nigeria, and I'm very sorry to say this at times, but our examiners are somehow lazy. I can tell you categorically, I qualified November 2019. The case study of November 2019 is a copy and paste question of July 2016 of Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. It is a copy and paste. So, and one thing, what makes a student a best and what makes another student average is ability to source for information. So when the case study came out, aside from the fact that, according to what Mr. Adam Larry talks about, okay, this is how to write the executive summary, this is how to do this. Yes, we already know what it entails. Okay, we write it like this, we write it like that. But one thing is that we really need a case study. Okay, we need a case whereby I can see how someone structured the case, and this person is this. So what I did for the purpose of this call, before I go to other tips, I want to show you a particular case study, which is a solution to Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales 2016 past question. So let us look at what that person wrote in case study for him to be the best in that diet. And we will now look at it from the perspective of what Mr. Damlare taught us this night. After we've done that, I'll now go to other areas which I think you need to focus. So I would like to share my screen with you guys first. So please, host, please kindly permit me to share my screen.
Yes, I've given you the permission, sir.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I will send you this so that everybody already know how to prepare for case study now. So I will send you this particular material I'm sharing now. This is just a typical way of what Mr. Damlare explained to you. You start from writing, who are you writing to? After that, you write your disclaimer. In your executive summary, I just want to show you something here. When you are analyzing a case in case study, it is not by who uses the biggest English or who uses most technical jargon that really pass. It is ability to be logical. Let me read something. Examiner's comment here. Overall paper. Let me read this. The script was well structured and very easy to read. And very easy to read. Now, which means that examiner really, we are looking forward to a report that is very easy to read. We are talking about even a layman can understand what you are writing. It is not by saying, I aspire to require this person to do this. No. So let us go through this case study. Under the executive summary, please, and try to, I want you to download ICANN past question, November 2019. Use November 2019 as a case, the case, November 2019 ICANN question, and use this particular solution I will be sending to you as a guideline for you to see how ICANN really wants reports, because this is just the copy and paste. This is the solution, the exact solution of that November 2018, November 2019. The only thing ICANN did was they changed the figures. So most time when you see pricing, what I would advise you, you see pricing, copy the pricing, put it online first. It can lead you to where they copy the question. That is one thing. So aside from knowing what to do, another thing, there's another thing to be smart about what you want to do. So if you look at this executive summary, it talks about something. It said the year revenue has increased by 1,360,000 or 3.5%. This is due to increase in capacity in toll operation and higher sales volume in food trading due to greater supply. Gross profit has significantly fallen by this, which means this percentage. When Mr. Damlare was talking about something, he told you from something, you move from absolute to percentage. So let us now check if it is true. Looking at this real life situation now, I said gross profit has significantly fallen by a particular amount. You can see that amount is the absolute figure with which that thing dropped, which represent how many percent? 20.5%. So I'm talking about absolute, I'm talking about percentage. Now look at something. Aside from the figure, another thing you will want to do is, if I'm telling you that something has fallen by 20%, the next question I will ask you as an examiner is, what must have caused the reason for that drop? Now, let us see what this guy has done. He said its profitability has dropped by 5.5% to 18.1%. The primary driver is the higher food cost due to currency fluctuation. So what do you see in that case? It is a very simple analysis. Okay, this thing increased by this, which is certain percentage. And if it is certain percentage, this is the reason for it. You are done. You move again. Operating profit increased by so amount, which represents so percentage, and this is the reason for it. So, and at the end of the day, I give my conclusion. So my conclusion is this. Okay, they are doing fine financially. They are not doing fine financially. And what is my recommendation? Okay, maybe so things are what they should do. I move on very fast. But you will see someone that, because you want to impress, they told you that executive summary serves as more than 20 marks. Because it is more than 20 marks, you want to spend 2 hours on executive summary. At the end of the day, executive summary is not what will make you pass. So ability to answer all the questions sequentially will make you pass. So I'll be giving you this material because I can't analyze all the material here. But this is just a material telling you every step by step of what to write. And this material is majorly for those that don't even know how to write a report at all. So look at how it is done sequentially from the beginning to the end, and definitely it will help you. So let us leave this one. That is one thing I just want to show you on how you can answer your case study. This is a typical example. So the next thing I was asked to talk about is my perception about case study. Yeah, my perception about case study is relatively normal. Case study is a paper that is very easy to pass. You can prepare for case study in 2 days and pass case study actually. So what you need to pass case study is very easy. Number one is ability to write report. Your ability to write report is what really matters. So this is the point whereby you want to expose yourself to different numbers of reports. So, and one thing I know is that the more you practice, the more you become pro. This is the point whereby you want to take, I'm sorry, this is the point whereby you want to pick different year past questions. You want to write 3 reports, maybe 3 different years. You want to write 3 different reports. You want to send it to someone that is very knowledgeable, just for the person to criticize you or to critique you on, okay, this is what you are doing right, this is what you are doing wrong. Because if you want to practice case study in the exam or for the first time, I can promise you that paper, the probability of passing that paper is very low. So it is something that if you practice, you will become proficient in it. So you already know what it entails from what Mr. Damlari taught you. I've given you a format now based on this. This is how you should structure, very fine. So which means that now you have everything you need to write a report. So you can now pick any year I can pass question. When you pick any year I can pass question, what do you do? Like 3 years, send it to an instructor, let an instructor talk about it, let them tell you what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong. And one thing you should know is that there's no right or wrong answer, which means that I can actually give you a case study where Mr. A is doing trend analysis, Mr. B is actually doing ratio analysis. A typical example is my case study when I qualify. I can remember vividly, I didn't calculate one ratio. I did not calculate my ratio. I did only trend analysis, but one thing was that I make sure that my trend analysis, I have the ability to analyze better. So it is more of like what you think you have strength in. Yes, if you can analyze the two, I can come from what Mr. Damlari said. I can come from trend to common size analysis. By now, I think we all know what is common size analysis. I'm coming from trend analysis to common size analysis to ratio analysis. But everything you are doing, you see, case study, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. And one thing is, if you know all the ratios, all the trend, everything, if you don't know how to manage your time, at the end of the day, that is still failure. So if you know you can do all those things, you can analyze them within the short period of time, and you think you will still be able to deliver and meet up all your requirements, fine. But if you know you can't do that, what you have to do is very easy. Just make sure you do what is enough for a particular mark and you move on. So, like I was saying, my perception is very simple. Case study is easy. It's something you can pass, even if you prepare for 2 days. But what I would just say is that try as much as possible, write a minimum of 1 case before exam. Send it to someone that is more knowledgeable than you, probably someone that have qualified before, or someone, a third party, and let the person actually check it. And definitely for your exam, you'll be fine. So it is not about the number of pages written. You can write 25 pages and still fail case study. So even if you write 8 pages, the question is, are you actually structuring that case study, that report, in the standardized way? That is the first question the examiner will look at. Is it a standardized report? That is one. 2, the report you wrote, is it answering the relevant question? That is the second thing. Someone will write 20 pages and they are still not answering the question. So it is more of like, I'm answering what is required and I know how to structure my paper. Once you can do these 2, definitely you'll be able to pass your exam. Definitely. And the last thing I'll be talking about is key area to focus. The key area to focus are just me. I'll tell you that the key area to focus is all the paper as a whole. The first thing is your executive summary. You already know what executive summary stands for. So, on your executive summary, in the question, I can standard case study, you'll be having 3 requirements. Your executive summary will comprise of all the 3. So, you must know how to structure your executive summary. Don't forget, your executive summary is not the main body of the report. So this is the point whereby you must know what should come into executive summary and what should actually go into the main body of the report. So I cannot be writing executive summary and I'm doing deeper analysis. No, executive summary is just to give a glance of what is expected in the main report. So which means that as a marker now, I know that you have done analysis of everything required in the questions. I know already. You've done that. But I want to see it at a glance. Okay, maybe just a page or a 2-page, maximum 2-page. I want to see everything in that 20 pages notes you have written. So what will happen? I'll check this page, read it, and I see that, okay, based on the requirements from this executive summary, I already know that you have idea of what the question is talking about. But if a question is talking about, let me say, a company that is looking at maybe share buyback, which is treasury share, and they are looking at the impact on the dilution and the likes. But in your executive summary, we are talking about issue of shares, where the requirement is on share buyback. In that case, it already give exam now a bad omen about you that this person doesn't even know what you are writing. So your executive summary is very key. That is the place where you can get the interest of the marker. So if your executive summary is perfect, just reading the first 2 pages, the examiner already fall in love with that paper, and the probability of passing is high. But if I can check the executive summary, which is the summary of all the case study as a whole, and what I'm seeing there does not even conform with the total requirements, the probability of filling that paper is very high. So our major point of focus is our executive summary. The fact that you know how to write the executive summary is not an excuse for you not to focus on the main body of the report. When you get to the main body of the report, now that is when you are permitted to show your skills. You show the total skills required, and at the end of the day, with what Mr. Damlare has taught you on how to write a study, the requirements, I feel like you'll be fine. So basically, case study is not a paper that is very hard. It is very easy. Like I said, let me just share this. I actually prepare for case study just 2 days to exam without prior knowledge actually. But I've been writing reports, writing mails and the like. So I know what it entails. So it was just more of like a day to exam. I pick up a case study, wrote the case. When I looked at what I wrote, I was not proud of myself. I pick another thing, same day. I wrote another one, still not proud of myself. When I wrote the third one, I feel like I'm proud of myself. I sent it out. The person was not proud of me. I wrote the fourth one. So I sent it out again. The person now shake it for me that, okay, well, you are doing well. So at the end of the day, because of the fact that I was open to critics, it really helped me in the exam and I was able to scale in the exam, which these are just the basic things I think you need for your case study. And major thing, go to exam with research. You have to be time conscious. 4 hours is not enough. I can tell you, 4 hours looks like 30 minutes on case study day. It's never enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. So I'll be answering some questions now before I drop the call. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Okewo, for that wonderful session. Please send your greetings to Okewo in the comment section. And that was wow. That was very detailed, and he shared some secrets. The part that caught my attention was that when he said it was that during his own exam, he couldn't write, he didn't draft any ratio analysis, but was able to interpret his data. And data interpretation is really an important thing we all need to know to answer our case study exam. Bible has shared some information to us. Mr. Okay, we have shared information to us. So at this juncture, we love to let you know that there's still more. We might still want to ask some questions. We might still want to, okay, Mr. Okay, that our participants are saying thank you for everything. The material, you get the material after the webinar. Thank you so much. So before we open the ground for any questions, we would like to let you know that we are also concerned about still many of us that are still having issues with case study. Can you, if you can hear me, please type 111. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. So, okay. All right. So, so having said this, we'll be giving room for questions. But before we give room for questions, I would want to let you. I would like. Okay. All right. Just a second. All right. So at this juncture, there are still some of us that are still having issues with case study. We don't know how to analyze some stuff. So from the angle of Brainedge professionals will be hosting. I'll be hosting a case study intensive training. Let me share the flyer with us. So they'll be having a program for all people that want to write case study. So just to share with them, we have professionals that would love to teach you how to write ICANN case study. So this is the flyer. It will be shared in the group. So they're having a 3 days intensive ICANN case study report writing, training, and also print screen analysis for May 2021, guys. It's going to be between 29th of this month and 1st of next month. And it's going to be on 7 p.m. West African time. The event is going to be on Zoom. The commitment fee is 10,000 naira. However, I got to know that the first 20 participants will be paying 7,500 naira. And the account details to pay the money to is given in the flyer. What are the benefits that we stand to gain? And the benefits are your beginning professional guidelines on case study exam, intensive training on report writing, key relevant ratios to use for data analysis, interpretation of financial ratios computed, how to use non-financial metrics for data analysis, how to manage your time, and also proceed analysis and lots more. So I would advise you to go for this training, because it's going to help you with what you've learned. We have professionals that are not even on ground here that would love to also impact you. It's going to be a 3-day stretch of intensive training on how to overcome ICANN case study and clear your exam successfully. So more details regards this thing will be given to us in the group. I will forward the flyer to the group. So I will advise you, if you have friends that can go for this, please go for it, because it's going to worth your time. It's going to watch it, and I can assure you that it's going to be best. So I haven't shared all these, okay? So that is that for that. So at this juncture, I would love to entertain questions. So if you're having any question, I only need 5 people to ask questions, because our time is really fast spent. We have a lot of other things to do for the rest of the day. So if you have any questions to ask, can you please just signify? Then I would give you the opportunity to ask any question. So we just need 5 people to ask questions. Or you can post it on the comment section. I'll just pick 5 randomly. Anybody that want to ask questions? All right. Okay. Admin, please add to the group. Please add, Mr. Admin, can you please add that person to the group? So you'll be added to the group. Damola, okay. So any questions to ask, Mr. Okewo and Mr. Okewo, sorry, and Mr. Adari will need to go off. Do you have any question for them? Okay, I don't, is there any question? If you have any question, please signify to bring you in. Is there any question? Any questions to ask? Okay, nobody's raising his or her hand. So at this juncture, okay, let me check the comment section. I think there's some questions. Okay, what items affect bank overdraft? I'm coming. Okay, let me just go through the question and pick. Okay. All right. So we're only picking 5 questions. So I'll call on Mr. Okewo, Mr. Dadari to answer the question. Okay. All right. So We have some questions to ask. All right, Mr. Dar, are you with us? Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Right, yeah. I have a question for you. I've seen the question. So one of the questions says that, please, sir, in case study, do we leave paragraph?
Okay, so like Okeo said, so there is no definite answer when it comes to case study. So you can use this approach and you can get the answer right, and you can use this approach, you might not be penalized. So, but for my own, during my own case study, so I use block format. So the block format for each paragraph, I leave a space, a line, just a line.
Okay.
So I make sure that the line was actually uniform.
Okay.
So let's assume for paragraph 1, after paragraph 1, so I leave a line, move to the next paragraph. So the next paragraph is not like the way we do our paragraph that you have to leave a space before you start. So you just start on the normal stuff. So but I just make sure it's a block paragraph.
All right. Thanks so much for that. So Mr. Samsudin, that question I've been answered. The next question goes to Mr. Okewu. Okewu, I'm so sorry, I'm not pronouncing your name well. So Ola said that, please, sir, Mr. Okewu, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Right, he said that, please, sir, do we have to leave a space for executive summary? Because I have heard people say we should attend to executive summary last.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's no template. There's no template actually on what you want to do. But what most people will tell you, even the case study lecturers, what they will tell you is that, okay, leave space for executive summary, do the main body, because don't forget, your executive summary is the summary of the major things in the case study. But it just depends on you. Someone like me now, during my time, I think from the beginning, I already know everything I want to analyze. I already have, because as Mr. Dari said that time, as I was reading through the case study, I was already analyzing the case study inside the question itself. So I already know what I want to talk about. I have done my ratio analysis. I've not written my major body. So I did my executive summary before I even started. But what I did was, when I did my executive summary, there are some spaces that was there. At least nobody will beat me for leaving space. There are some space there. There's some space there whereby I know that in case I remember something, I can slot it in, but which may not be a best idea. But another thing is, how do you know how many pages you will leave for your own executive summary? Okay. But like I said, the executive summary should not be more than 2 pages. If it is more, if something now happens, maximum 2.5 pages or 3 pages. So you can leave that page if that is what works for you. If you think that you need to analyze other aspects before you come back, if it works for you, fine. But if you think that you already have pictorial representation of everything you want to analyze in your head, someone like me, you can actually start with executive summary. So there's nothing like a standard template on how to go about it. It just depends on what you feel like works for you. I think I've answered that question.
Yes, yeah, that was well answered. Thank you so much for that. So we have like 2, yeah. So let me go to this question, okay? Mr. Darby, for this question is for you. Tell me, Adeyanju said, where does the professional skepticism fall in executive summary? I come again. Where does the professional skepticism fall executive summary of body of the, I think please reframe that question. Please reframe. I didn't get that question anymore. All right. So okay, Mr. Darby, it should be for you. Sir, at what point should we start writing executive summary? I think Mr. Okewa has answered that question. Yes, he has answered that question. So there's no straight way you can answer executive summary. So it depends on the one that suits you. So you can either start before or start thereafter. So okay, Mr. Okewu, there's a question I would love you to answer, please. Someone said, please, sir, what are the items that affect bank overdraft?
Okay, I would like the person to talk actually for me to understand the perspective.
Okay, so Mr. Daniel, can you please unmute yourself and also can you please unmute yourself and talk? So
all right. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, give it to Daniel.
Yeah, okay. What I'm asking is this. Like last diet, we were asked to do something on bank overdraft, make some statement on it. So I want to know the item that can actually increase a company's bank overdraft or decrease it. You know, when you are writing, you give reasons for either the thing is increasing or decreasing.
Okay,
What
yes.
are the reasons, likely reasons that can increase
Okay.
bank overdraft or
Okay.
decrease it? Thank you, sir.
I think I understand your question now, and it is something they even ask almost every guy
It
itself. So
is okay.
the major thing is poor working capital management of a company. If there is a poor working capital management, like your receivable is increasing, there's no proper policy for inventory, your inventory is increasing. Because they are increasing, definitely the money to finance the business will definitely not be available. So you'll be having liquidity problem. And if you're having liquidity problem, the best way to actually survive in the business is to go for more overdraft. So in that case now, when you are talking about your overdraft, we definitely need to talk about the working capital management strategy of the company, which we need to talk about your receivable payment collection period, your payable payment period, your inventory turnover period, and the like. So they are just basic things you just have to mention. So basically, what they normally ask under your bank overdraft, when they are mentioning bank overdraft, is how well does that company manage its working capital?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So thanks so much for that answer. So okay, the last question. The last question goes to Mr. Dari. Mr. Dari, there's a question. There's someone saying that where do we use disclaimer? Is it at the beginning or end of the report?
Okay, yeah, thanks for the question. So when you come to disclaimer, so it can be either at the beginning or at the end. So it doesn't matter where disclaimer is coming from. So, but for me, I actually prefer using it at the beginning. So why some people use it at the end? So at the end of the day, we are still trying to pass the same information. So which I don't think where you place it doesn't matter. So far is included. I'd actually save you from that professional liability. So that's the main thing. So it doesn't matter where the stuff is coming from, whether beginning of or the end. Like if I ask a query, okay, when it's gonna be from the end, why I'm actually from the beginning. So at the end of the day, we both pass. So it doesn't matter. Like they said, there's no definite structure for case study.
Hello, can anyone see me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, because everywhere is silent. That is why I'm wondering.
I'm sorry, I've been talking. I never knew I moved myself. So so thank you so much, Mr. Dari. Thank you so much, Mr. Okewo, for the wonderful time you spent, for those secrets you've given to us. I believe it has helped a lot of us. It has helped us in putting on in good position for the exam. So as regards the intensive training that's going on, coming forth next on 29th, so I would recommend the friends that you feel should be in this place. They need to be in there because there are still more things that we would love to share. Brainedge would love to share with you and train you, and also help you analyze, give you how to analyze your pre-screen statement. So thank you so much for the time. We say a big thank you, and we wish you well as you start another week. So take care of yourself. Any other questions, any other thing will be attended to on the group. and bye for now. So thank you so much to the organizer for even giving me the opportunity to host everybody. Bye for now, and have a wonderful night rest.